Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today you're going to learn what's behind me that's shaken. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright guys, so we are back in it today, and I think there's a few things I want to go over. We've had an update, so I went ahead and updated, and we now have a bit more quests. So there are quests that are uncompleted yet. It's still a work in progress, which is perfectly fine with me. Just the fact that we have more quests. We went from 4 quests originally to now we have an entire book filled, and thankfully the Better Questing mod seems to have updated, so that way I can actually scroll through everything, which is really good. And I see that there's recipes for some creative items, so I feel that there is a decent progression towards the end, which is going to be nice. So pretty much gathering tons of items. There's going to be a goal of getting creative items, which having a goal is always a good thing. I did go ahead and finish up my farm, and I got this all set up. Got some cactus going. This looks so pretty over here. This is just super nice looking. Also, I changed a few settings, and let's take a look at those. So anytime you update this pack, as of right now, the default settings for your NEI, or a lot of people know it as Walla, but this is actually called the One Probe in this pack. Some packs use Walla, some packs use One Probe. I think most packs, though, use the One Probe now. But if you want to change the way this looks up at the top, you can do a quick thing and type TOP, the One Probe, config, and it's going to bring up this menu most of the time. If not, some packs have it where you have to obtain the One Probe, and I'll show you that as well. But I set mine to the full transparent style, and then I change my scale down, because otherwise it looks like this. It's quite large, and that's just not something that I prefer, because I play at a different scale. Everybody's scale is going to be different, so you can adjust that to how you like. Otherwise, you'd make the One Probe, which is this guy right here, which I just created creatived one in to show you guys that it does the same thing as typing that command, which is perfect. Another thing, I went ahead and talked to Ex Nihilo Gaming X, which that's his name on the Discord. He is the one who made this pack, or I guess him and his devs made the pack, but he is the owner of the pack, which is awesome, and I fully respect people who make these packs. Without these packs, I wouldn't have any content for you guys. So if you would, you can find him down in the description below. There's a link to his Twitch. He streams on Twitch, so if you guys wouldn't mind dropping a follow for him, I'd really appreciate that, and so would he. But like I was saying, I talked to him, and he was saying that the only reason he has the vein miner gated by experience was to help with the server, because people were basically destroying their entire platforms or destroying their grass blocks down here, and thus, they would need to have help from an admin to fix that, which I, as a server owner myself, would probably get frustrated with that over a period of time. So what I did to fix that for me, since I'm playing in a single player world and not on the server, was I go into mod options, and then you can search which the mod in this case is Ore Excavator or Excavation, and this is a lovely GUI here, so you can click config, and right here it was set to 2. So to change this so you can do it without experience is to set it to 0. And make sure you click done when you're ready. And this was actually set to 64. I just changed it to 128. It doesn't really matter that much, but that does help to change the range and the limit. Both of those change. I can also change the speed of how fast it actually breaks all the adjacent blocks. Not too worried about that. It seems to be fine set at 16. And that fixes it. So now when I hold grave, for the length of the time that I hold it, I can stop it sooner. So if I do this many, and I break the first one, and if I let off the grave key fast enough, it will not continue to break those blocks. So that's something to keep in mind in case you're like you break your oak slabs and you continue holding the button down. That's also why that range is also helpful. But I'm not planning on breaking my oak slabs anytime soon, at least not yet. I will be here eventually. But I have been working towards getting some things done. I got some iron pieces. Today we're going to work on trying to get Food going. We're going to get some good food. We're also going to get this bonsai pot converted, so we don't have to do as much messing with our trees. So as much chopping. So this will get us 9 iron. As of right now, there's no way for us to double ore. Not yet, anyways. I did notice there was the quartz grindstone. I think it's in here. The grindstone right here gets a wooden gear. Believe it or not, Tesla Core added this wooden gear in simply because I can't remember what mod it was, but Applied Energistics does not have a wood gear built into itself. So without that, it would default to most likely bees or whatever type of gear another mod added. And so Tesla Core added this, which is kind of funny. Because you would think that the Applied Energistics would have their own wood gear, since in their recipe it requires a wooden gear. That's kind of funny. But quartz. To get quartz, I'm hoping we may not have to go to the nether. Let's see. We would. Yeah, we will have to go to the nether. We'll have to sieve soul sand. And that is how we're going to get that. I think we can possibly get soul sand, though, without going to the nether. Is there a way to do that? If I remember, fluid, yes. With the witch water. With sand will give you soul sand, so we can do this before going to the nether. It will take some time. Getting the grindstone, getting the quartz required for this. Let me see what the percentages are on the actual regular quartz. The percentages are probably pretty low. Oh, it's a one is 100% chance. Drop chance. Oh, okay. So that's not bad. I think we could easily get that started today. As well, we do have the ancient spores, so we can get that started today. I have some dirt, so I think I can do that. I'm going to need a little bit of a setup, but I think we can manage. So I'm going to need some wooden barrels and stuff. But let's go ahead. I'm already getting ahead of myself. This guy is completely filled. If you notice, the trash can button is only here when the trash can is open. So now I don't have a trash can button down here. I don't actually know what changed that, but it did change it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stuff done. So it's already getting dark out. We have 9 iron now. How awesome is that? I do need to break this bonsai pot completely. You have to break the block that's in it, and then you have to break it. It does take a little bit of time to mine, surprisingly. And I think it doesn't even matter what tool you use. It's just always going to be that difficult. So, luckily, there's a recipe that allows you to use 2 logs to make a hopper. How cool is that? And then you take the bonsai pot and put it right here, and you get a hopping bonsai pot. This guy is remarkable. I love it. It's going to be perfect, especially while we're on here. Let's go ahead and also make a... I mean, we could do a crate... I wanted to make a apple sapling. And the apple sapling is going to give us not only food, but wood and leaves all together. We'll get oak leaves, we'll get sticks, we'll get wood, and we'll also get get apples, and a chance to get more saplings every 30 seconds. So it's a pretty good chance, 20% chance to get 2 apples, and there's a 75% chance to get oak wood. I think whereas normal you always get oak wood, but this plant's a little bit different. But we're going to need a regular sapling surrounded by 3 apples. So I do have 3 apples. It makes it a little bit easier now that I have access to the vein miner and I was able to turn that on. If you are playing on their server, which he does have limited slots, so if you are going to hop on there and are going to get on there, there's only 40 slots, I think he said, is available. So I don't know if he has any way of supporting the pack or anything like that. If you guys wanted to play more or support his server, he may have options to do that. I don't really know. But he did mention the only reason there's limited to 40 slots because he doesn't have the doesn't have enough to really pay for the a larger server. So just keep that in mind, and also be courteous if you guys do hop on there. Don't do any trolling. That wouldn't be very nice. But let's see. All right, so back to what I was doing. I'm making the sapling. Here I am lecturing you guys. Bam, apple sapling, hopping bonsai. Now, if we take a look at what this produces again, it does produce 5 different things with a chance of producing the sapling. But what I can do is I can set it up so that way I only gain, I'm only going to gain these 4 items, because I think it'll void it off. I don't think it spits it out if I have no room for the saplings. I don't really want the saplings, so let's go ahead and make a drawer. I think that is going to be the best thing to do. And I think making the split drawer right here, the 2x2 basic drawer, is going to be the best for this. So I'll get 4 of those. And just fill everything else with wood. And we get a basic drawer here. Perfect. Now this exports to the bottom, so I'll need to keep that in mind. I might as well put it right here along with everything else that's going on. And place our hopping bonsai, and we'll place this in it. And it'll, every 30 seconds it's going to produce some wood, some apples, and all those goodies, and sticks and stuff like that. But if we get a sapling in here, I want to remove it, because I don't want saplings going in here. I want saplings to just be voided off by this hopping bonsai pot, because I don't think it will stop production. And I'm pretty sure it needs some sort of light source as well. I know if you place stuff above it, it will not work. Alright, so we got an apple. Look at there. Right off the bat. And as you can see, it doesn't require another sapling. It's going to start automatically working the sapling, because I'm pretty sure you always get 1 sapling back. So the hopping bonsai pot is something that's really convenient, I find. So I'll have to keep an eye on this, and we're going to start working towards getting some of that soul sand, like I was saying, so we can start doubling some of our ore, because it's going to take a long time if we don't start doing that. Alright, so I'm working on getting this started. It is still dark. I don't know if that really affects you guys. I don't know. The shaders seem to do a pretty good job at night at lighting things up, so especially when the moon's out. The moon really casts some bright light down as well. But we're going to get, like I said, get working on those ancient spores and getting those things started. So we are going to need a barrel. We're going to need more of these wooden barrels, actually. I think it can be done with regular wooden barrels. Let's take a look, though. So soul sand. Let's take a look at that. So soul sand is in the fluid right here. Okay, so it requires a stone barrel? Is that correct? I guess it requires a stone barrel. It looks like it can do either or. I think I remember it being done in a wooden barrel. We'll try both, though. I mean, it's not like it costs much for either one of them. But it does show right here a stone barrel. I think the witch water, though, can be made in any fashion. Alright, let's go ahead and get some dirt. 1 piece of dirt is going to lay the foundation for this area. And it's going to go right here. And I don't think it has to be grass. I think we can put the ancient spore just right on it. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to throw them. I think we can place the ancient spore right on there. There it goes. And it turns to mycelium. Perfect. If I'm pronouncing that right. I usually pronounce it wrong. Alright, but let's go ahead and make the barrel. I think since I have it right here, I can go ahead and just pop it down. And we're going to make a few of them. Bam, just like that. And we'll make 4 barrels, just so we can get a lot of this water. Just so we can make more at a time. And it kind of fills in here, so don't look down, that might make you sick. But let's see if these barrels actually work. So to get this to work, we're going to need some water. And our water is right here. Unfortunately, it's kind of out of the way. Just a little bit. And it's transforming. Okay, so yes, it does work with wood. So it doesn't really matter if it's wood or the stone. I've always used wood as far as I remember. But as you can see, this does take a little bit of time. But like I said, it's a 100% chance for flint, or for that stuff. But you have to use, I think, an iron mesh. Let's see, what is this used for? Sieve. Oh, it's a string mesh, gets you these different types of trees and nether warts. The flint stiffened mesh, which is what we already have. Perfect. gives you it's a 100% chance. For some reason it says 100% chance and 33% chance. Maybe 33% chance for 2 and 100% chance for 1. I think maybe that's what it means. And then this one is 80% chance and 100% chance for 2. Something like that. I don't really know what these chances mean when there's more than one of them. But it is working. So this is going to take a little bit of time. It's slowly but surely going to turn into witch water. And that's when we can just throw sand in it like we did clay in these other barrels. So we can still make a lot of clay and we can make a lot of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait for this to transform. It's going to take a little while. I might try cleaning this area up. Oh, as you can see, we got a sapling here. I want to get rid of that. I don't want the sapling. I want the leaves because we'll need leaves later on. This doesn't produce much leaves, so leaves will be something I'll have to get here. Whereas here, I can make sure I get wood, sticks, and I'm getting a lot of apples. And with the apples, cooking them literally is the best food. This is awesome. Look at that saturation. 64 times. Plus 4 health bars. That's unbelievable. So yeah, I'll be right back once this finishes, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. So this has completely changed. As you can see, it went from water to this lovely purple, dark, deep purple color. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take the sand that I stored away here as I was sieving some more, and just place one in at a time. And bam, look at that. We get soul sand. And we should be able to put it in here and get quartz, right? So we ended up getting 5 quartz, so at least one of those gave us 2. And now we can use that, I do believe, to make the grindstone. Thus doubling our ores, because we have everything. It looks like we can use wood and a stick to make that. There's 2 different recipes. One is regular wood and one is that. This is 4 of them. I'm sure we'll need them later on. If not, we at least have 1 for now. We are going to need some cobblestone. I don't think we need any smooth stone. This requires cooked stone. And I think it's 5 of it, right? Yeah, 5. And that's it. And then we're of course going to need to make the top of it. We're going to need to make the gear here, which is just sticks. Sweet. Go ahead and make some more wood. Put that in there to burn. And we can make the top of it the wooden crank. Perfect. Alright, so we're just waiting for this to go. I think by now we can actually make another furnace, and that will go ahead and make things twice as fast. No reason for us not to have another one. We'll go ahead and get cobblestone going so we can have smooth stone for the future. But there we go. Let's go ahead and make this thing. Actually gets a gear. I keep forgetting the recipe. It's like this. And there we go, right? Am I doing it right? Oh, the bottom ones are cobblestone. It's so hard to tell whenever you have the chisel going. Like, you can hardly tell. You'd have to run over it to be able to tell. They're all like flashing between chiseled blocks. It looks like they're all the same. Oh boy. So yeah, I should be able to place this right where my lovely torch is. And I'm going to place this guy in the ground. Now, this may not be convenient for everybody. For me, I kind of like it because it kind of gets it out of the way. But once you put the crank on top, it kind of gives you a small space to kind of access it. You have to access it from the corner here, whereas right here you'd be rotating the crank. Here you can put stuff in. So, perfect. Look at that. And we should be able to now take our chunks. There we go. You get as many as we can. And that's 20. And throw them in here. And we can grind them down into dust. And I'm about to find out if it doubles it. So that one's in there. I should get like a little tick in my handle here when it does it. I love that it, like, all the shadows of the textures. It does, so it gives you 2. We had 20, there's 19, and this was the 20th one. So there we go. Yeah, all you got to do now is set a weight on here. Set a weight, set your key, your use key to your up arrow or whatever you decide to use and put a weight on it. Or you can just use an auto clicker. Or you can just set here with your finger on the mouse. Whatever you guys feel like doing. But I'll definitely be putting a weight on the key. That makes it a lot easier. So I can go get myself a coffee or something and come back. Alright, so I was doing some testing and I was like, I started to look in the Ex Nihilo here. And I was like, what is this auto sifter thing going on here? It's called Ex Nihilo Creatio. Or, yeah, Creatio. And I was like, I'm gonna test this out. And I went to test it out. And it looks really interesting. So I'm going to show you what I come up with. So I think this is going to be a pretty good design. So this right here is the one that's going to be here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create these things. You need a water wheel. I'm going to need a stone axle. I'm going to show you how to use that as well. And then you're going to need an auto sifter. Now this grinder doesn't work. The auto sifter does. The grinder would be nice to actually have. But we're going to use the auto sifter for right now. And see what this guy does. It does look like it requires some redstone, and I was looking at what is the best way to acquire some redstone. And it looks like we need an iron stiffened mesh with dust to be able to get that. So that's going to be a 5% chance of getting redstone. And we need 2 of them. So what I need to do is turn one of these into an iron stiffened mesh. And I do have a little bit of iron, and so that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to go ahead and get some of that ground up, and I'll be back. So as I was setting things up, I was thinking to myself, why haven't I made the compressed hammer yet? I really don't know. I think this is, the actual compressed hammer is not that hard. This guy right here? No, just requires all, a bunch of hammers. So I was wondering, why haven't I made that yet? So that makes my life a lot easier if that's the case, and I can just, throw all these guys in there and make myself a compressed stone hammer. Thus, allowing me to, let's see, just clear out my inventory a little bit here and get myself 9 blocks of cobblestone and make myself compressed. And this will get me a lot more whenever I go to breaking all this. It's going to get me a lot more dust. So that way, whenever I do go to sieve some dust, I'll pretty much be guaranteed at least 2 redstone. And I definitely need that redstone. I hope you guys stick around to the end of this episode because it is really interesting, and that mod, I'm not joking, is super cool. So I just hope it does what I think it does. I didn't really test out how it works. I only tested out how to put it together. So yeah, I've just been sieving all this. This is creating a lot of blocks, as you can see. And now I have all that, and then I can compress that. Perfect. Should have made this sooner. I don't know why I didn't. All right, so I've been sieving here in the iron stiffened mesh for a little while. I have 622 dust, as you can see. So I should be able to get at least 2 of the redstone. I don't see why not. I'm hoping I can get it here in just a second. There we go. 2 redstone. That's all I need. I really don't need all this dust. I can save that for later, because I will have to go through this later, of course, and get as much stuff as possible. But yeah, getting that compressed hammer just made this so much faster. Made it a lot faster, actually. But we are getting some of the other materials, or other metals. But I'm going to go ahead and wait till it is sunrise, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we should be able to set this guy up. I am going to need 1 bucket. Oh, I got a bucket right there. No need for that then. I'm going to go ahead and take this stiffened mesh here off. And go ahead and take this sieve, because I'm going to need this room right here in just a second. But let's go ahead and start building some of these materials, or some of these machines we need. We need a water wheel, for one thing. This requires a stone axle, and the stone axle requires 3 stone gears here. So let's go ahead and get those made. I'm actually going to need 6, because I'm going to need to make another stone gear, or stone axle on top of that. And then I'm going to need a few of these. Don't exactly know how many I'm going to need for right now, but that's good. Let's see. I think I need one more set, and I should be good. There we go. 2 stone axles, and then we need, like I said, the one for the water wheel. And then the sifter actually requires a stone axle as well. So let me go ahead and make another one of those. So it's going to require a little over a stack of materials here for each stone axle. There we go. So I need a stone axle free. I also need a stone axle for the auto sifter, which is what requires those pistons. And it's going to require a little bit of iron as well. I'm also going to need a hopper. I'm going to need 2 hoppers. So let me just grab a bit of that. Where's my iron? There it is. Need 10 iron to make 2 hoppers. I'm kind of curious as to how well this thing works. I wonder, probably just as curious as you guys, because I haven't really seen any documentation or anything on this extra part of Ex Nihilo here. It's kind of interesting to me. All right, so we're going to need even more ears. There we go. And I think that's it. There's the auto sifter. It's kind of a weird block. It kind of overlaps everything. It's so large. So we have everything we need. I have the water wheel, I have the stone axle, and the auto sifter. So these actually get placed in certain directions. I'm actually going to remove this one as well. I can place it down here in a second. Let's go ahead and remove this sieve. And I want to place the water wheel in a certain direction. Now, if I place it, which way I'm facing or pointing is the way that the axle is actually going to be running. So if I place it this way, then the axle is going to be running in this direction. So I need to place it, say, right here will work. I think it's going to work right here. Let's see, I'll put it, yeah, I'll put it right here. This should be fine. Because I only have one extra axle, so it's going to have to go here. So it's going to go like right here. It'll look kind of funny, but it will work, trust me. We are going to break one side. I might just do this side right here. And this is where we're going to need our bucket. I'll grab me a bucket of water, and when I place the bucket of water here, this thing's going to start running. Because the water flow is going down. It may look like it's running really slow. It's because it is, but I think it's 1 speed. I don't think it really goes any faster than that. But next, we're going to need to place an axle down. So I think the axle gets placed in the same direction. As you can see, it's actually moving as well. And then we're going to place our auto sifter right here. And I'm going to place this facing this direction as well. And it's all going to connect. Just like that. That's kind of an odd looking thing, isn't it? It's kind of weird. But I'm going to take this sieve right here, place it back where we had it. And then this sieve is actually going to go right in here. But it's going to start shaking everything. How cool is that? So I can put my Flint stiffened mesh in this one. And now all of these are going to work. Now, I'm still kind of curious as to how this works. So I place it in there. It's going to automatically do it. Does it go faster? I think it's faster. I'm not sure. Alright, so I've been trying to figure this out because I knew there has to be more functionality to this than I originally thought. And I figured it out. So, down here is that box we placed down. So all I did was place a hopper because this thing required hoppers, and I was wondering why is there hoppers in the recipe? And that is to transfer material. So it is a little bit slower than doing it normally, but if you have a bunch of these set up, this thing will pipe to all of them. Which is kind of ridiculous. So, what I did was, it's an auto siever, really. I mean, you fill this up with dust or whatever material you want it to go into. It fills up the reservoir down there, which then pipes it into the sieves. And in theory, this should start popping items up for you. and we should start gaining materials. So if I clear out my inventory here, and make sure I don't have anything in there that I know that this is going to give me, hopefully, whenever this finishes, I mean, it does take a little while to do this, but I think I can do it manually as well, but it only does one at a time. There it goes. Oh, I think that the problem is I need to put stiffened mesh in that one. But I can do it by hand as well. And it's automatically going to put it back in there and do it for me. Which is kind of crazy. I do need some more flint stiffened mesh. That is something that I really do need. I think I can just go ahead and make some of that really quick. Literally takes no time at all anymore. So there's a bunch of gravel. Get some flint. And I'll take my string mesh. This will make sieving gravel a little bit easier. And I should be able to go through this. It's going to fill all of them up. Correct? There it goes. It's a little slow. But like I said, it's doing it manually, so you don't have to do it. Which is the best part. It is working, though. Just taking a lot of time. Okay, so things have gotten a little out of hand as I started testing. And I started connecting these things together. And you notice this one's going really slow. And then slowly but surely it starts progressing, and then bam! We got the speed down here. And now, this guy is sieving almost as fast as if I was doing it by hand. I mean, this is significantly faster than it was working earlier. And that's unbelievable. That totally just made things a lot easier for me. It is popping things around, which, I mean, I can just stand here, though. I can put my stuff in here, and just let it rip. I can make a bunch of these sieves, so this is wonderful. I'm really enjoying this. And this is actually kind of cool to look at as well. Well, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have, please don't forget to ring that bell. That helps out a lot and lets you guys know when I publish a video immediately. And also, like this video if you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks for watching.
Let's go!